Eduardo Camavinga, does he go anywhere or does he stay at Real Madrid? There's absolutely no chance, apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, that Real Madrid will change their stance on Camavinga. He will stay as the club considers him a key player for the present and the future of Real Madrid. All parties deny a potential loan deal for the French midfielder. We've seen a few people questioning whether he's available or not. We've seen Arsenal fans looking to get involved in the conversation. But Carlo Ancelotti said last night, I want to highlight Camavinga's performance today. He was just spectacular. And he did play for Real Madrid last night as they won 2-0 in La Liga. But this is a player really that's it's got so much stock really at such a young age, and to be in even amongst that Real Madrid midfield when you look at it on paper that consists of Tchouaméni, Kroos, Valverde, Modric. I suppose the Modric Kroos era is still amongst us. Casemiro obviously went, but that potentially is the best midfield three of the last 10 years. So to even break into it is quite something, but I still do think for him anyway, for Tchouaméni and Camavinga, maybe less so for Valverde because he's played a lot more, but for those two in particular, I would almost say they're biding their time until the likes of Modric and Kroos finally retire. I think Kroos is at the end of this season, so potentially next season Real Madrid can play Camavinga a lot more with Tchouaméni. We also know as well that they're in for Jude Bellingham in the summer. Does this transfer maybe affect that one? Let us know in the comments if you would like him at your club. But he is a very, very interesting player, isn't he? Arsenal fan, I'm just seeing on Twitter, said yesterday, I hope we don't sign Camavinga on loan. This will really affect the progress of Lokonga. Lokonga is low on confidence. That's who I want him to flourish at Arsenal. I mean, that was a little bit of an exaggerated comparison, in all fairness to those two. But Camavinga, it'd be interesting to get Raul's opinion on this as well and how he sees the future of Camavinga going. But if you're a Real Madrid fan or even a Premier League fan who is looking to maybe get him on loan for the rest of the season, there's absolutely no chance. Ancelotti has put his foot down and says no, Camavinga stays this season. He sees him as a key player for the present and the future of Real Madrid. So let us know in the comments how you react to that story. Let's move on to Chelsea. It looks like they are happy to see Ziyech maybe go out on loan this season. We know how many attacking options they've got at the club. It's almost becoming farcical, really, when you look at the wide options, the central options that they've got. I was at the game on Saturday, they managed to bring on Zakaria. They managed to bring on, or Ziyech started the game. I actually thought he had a very good game. He's very dangerous when he cuts in on that left. Aubameyang even came on. You still got Sterling, Mudryk, who came on, as we know. Pulisic, and then so many more as well. I'm pretty sure they've signed that PSV winger as well. But 5 hours ago, Fabrizio Romano tweets, Chelsea will discuss the bids for Hakim Ziyech. As expected, many clubs are keen on signing him in the final days of the transfer window. Premier League and foreign clubs are exploring conditions of this deal. We heard that he potentially could go to Everton on loan until the end of the season, but then we're also hearing this morning that it looks like Frank Lampard has seen his job out at Everton. It looks like at some point today it will be announced that he has been sacked as Everton manager. So we are about to read another Everton story as well. So I mean, these players like Ziyech's and like the other player that is joining soon, we're hearing Danjuma on loan. They don't even have a manager to report to. If you're to believe the reports this morning that Lampard goes, we're also hearing that there isn't an immediate replacement ready in line for Lampard if he does go. But I'm actually going to stick up for Hakim Ziyech here. Out of all the players that Chelsea do have, and I've listed a lot of them just there in the wide positions and the central positions, is he the one you want to be letting go on loan? Let us know in the comments, Chelsea fans. I mean, as I said, I was at Anfield on Saturday. He was easily Chelsea's best player, cutting in on that left-hand side, putting really dangerous balls across the box. And this kid is very talented. Maybe hasn't had the minutes that he would have wanted since coming to the Premier League, but Hakim Ziyech, still a very good player and still a very good prospect if a club wants to take him on loan until the end of the season. Chelsea, as we know, so many injuries, so that's why I'm asking the question, is it the best idea to let him go? You know, we've seen how good he can be on his day, but in terms of that consistency in terms of minutes racked up for him, I think he's probably better off elsewhere. But again, if Chelsea find themselves having more injuries, then where does that leave him? Hakim Ziyech, let us know in the comments. Chelsea fans, do you want him to stay at the club? And rival fans, do you want him at your club? As we've just said, Premier League and foreign clubs are exploring the conditions of the deal. They're throwing their hat in the ring. They want to see how much it will cost to bring him on loan until June. And then, of course, we in June, we'll go back to the drawing board and decide whether he stays at Chelsea or he leaves on a permanent deal. But if you're Hakim Ziyech, since you've left Ajax, after all that hype, hasn't really worked out the best, but trust me, there is still a player there, and I saw him on Saturday as well. So let us know in the comments how you think this one ends up. Danjuma as well, we're hearing 12 hours ago the deal for him will be signed in the next hours. The medical was done on Saturday and the contract is set to be completed on Monday. That's today, and it will be a loan until June 2023. No buy option as expected. Now, if you're Villarreal, you're potentially losing one of your best players on loan. It's not even a permanent deal to Everton as well. I mean, I'm not being funny. Everton, 19th in the table, 2 points, on goal difference. Only by goal difference, they're ahead of Southampton, who have just beaten them at Goodison Park alongside Wolves as well. I mean, if you're Danjuma, is this the best deal for you? I mean, with all due respect to both clubs, I think he should be playing at a bit of a higher level than Villarreal and Everton. But there you go. It looks like if he is to come to Everton, who will he report to? And if you're to believe the reports this morning that Frank Lampard is set to leave. But Danjuma, let us know how you feel about this player, Everton fans. Do you think he's what you need to score and assist those goals to get you back up the table? I've seen him play. I think he scored against Liverpool in the Champions League semi-final last season. A good player, a very famous celebration where he goes like that, as I can see here. But is that the best deal? It seems like a bit of a scattergun approach from me, to be honest, for both parties. I don't see how Villarreal win out of this deal, and Everton, I mean, they're just a mess right now. So why would you want to go there? A lot of questions that I've got about this deal. But anyway, let us know in the comments what you think happens there. Going on to Arsenal, let's now talk about Iván Fresneda, the right back from Real Valladolid. 32 minutes ago, we're hearing reports that after we know that Arsenal and now Borussia Dortmund have both agreed terms with the Spanish outfit, he is set to make a decision today on what he wants to do. He's 18 years old. He will cost £15 million. And whatever club he goes to, whether that's Arsenal or Dortmund, he will in fact be loaned back to Valladolid for the rest of the season. An interesting deal here. As we know, Arsenal and Dortmund have both agreed fees for Iván Fresneda, who has played against Real Madrid very recently, up against Vinny Jr. and did a very good job of that, by the way, as well. But £15 million for a right back at 18 years old seems a bit excessive, if I'm honest. We haven't seen too much of the boy, but he wants to, and he's keen to earn his stripes and go back to Valladolid from now until the end of the season. So Arsenal, Borussia Dortmund, what is the most attractive option right now? If he does go to Arsenal, I'm assuming he'll be third choice right back behind Ben White, Tomiyasu as well. Whereas if he goes to Dortmund, maybe some more opportunities to get more minutes under his belt. But as we know, right now it stands like this. Arsenal and Dortmund have both agreed a fee with the club. It's now down to the player to decide today where he signs. Valladolid, as I said, will take him back on loan for the rest of the season. Interesting move that. Let us know in the comments what you think to that one, Arsenal fans, as well. We're also hearing reports this morning that Harry Kane allegedly wants to sign another contract at Tottenham. We did hear over the last couple of days of how he wanted to maybe to go to Manchester United, or Manchester United were at least plotting a big bid for him in the summer. But we're hearing this morning that he is open to signing a new Tottenham deal. Let's not forget his brother, Charlie Kane, is his agent. It's his only client on his books as well. So does that have anything to do with it? I've seen Tappin Tobes already tweet this morning that he doesn't believe a word of the Kane news. Not a single word, he says. He hasn't signed fresh terms when things were harmonious, but he's open to it now when things are at its worst. Okay, mate, with a clown emoji. So Tappin Tobes definitely not happy this morning around that Kane news. Does he stay? Does he go? Tottenham fans, is it time to part ways with Kane now? Kane, is he got to show a little bit more ambition in his career. 29 years old now. He's been around for a while, 10 years. Obviously an incredible goal scorer. But in terms of winning trophies, with all due respect to Tottenham, does he want to stay there? Is he going to achieve what he really needs to achieve whilst at Tottenham? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of him staying at Tottenham. I think for his own career, for his own ambition, he's got to move. He's got to make that move and try and win some trophies in his career. I don't think you'd want to go maybe 10 to 15 years without winning a single trophy. The Audi Cup, not the best so far. As we already know, Jakub Kiwior, who was at the game yesterday, the 6'5" Polish centre-back who we did see at the World Cup in Qatar, he will be unveiled today as an Arsenal player until June 2028. A 5-year deal set to be announced today, and medical tests have been successfully completed on Saturday. You saw him at the game last night with his partner as well. So there you go. Hakim, Ziyech, Fresneda, all being spoken about today, as well as Camavinga and a couple of others as well. Let us know in the comments what you think to all these stories this morning on DR Sports Transfers. Remember, like the video, make sure you comment as well and subscribe to DR Sports if you haven't already. I've been AGT. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow again.